Welcome to the France 24 Observers, the show that's based on our network of ordinary people who are our eyes and ears around the world. The small nation of Gabon in West Africa has just one mental hospital in the whole country. It's in the capital, Libreville, and its staff have been on strike for more than a year. Our observer explains why.
We're in the Melun Psychiatric Hospital of Libreville. There's been no treatment going on for 1 year and 5 months now. The staff have stopped working because they've had enough of working in conditions like this. There isn't even a minimum of the equipment needed to run a hospital. Just look at the buildings, the state of them. It's a health risk in itself. They're left to their own devices. They get virtually no medical care. They're just surviving. The patients are present, unfortunately. That's because they have nowhere else to go. They get a strict minimum of care, just enough to keep them fed. The medical staff come by once in a while just to check in. They're waiting for the authorities to do something, to make the improvements that need to be made. We are ready to start work again immediately, but only if we have at least a minimum of the equipment we need. There has to be a decent canteen for the patients. We need medicines too, and the right equipment, things like beds and mattresses. The ball is in the authorities' court now. They've been dragging their feet. A lot has to be done to resolve these problems.
A mystery now from Angola in southern Africa, and perhaps a horror story. On April 16th, around 3,000 members of a Christian sect had assembled on a remote mountainside for a meeting. They were dispersed in a major police operation, and they haven't been seen since. It's impossible to know what happened for sure because the police have sealed off the area. But someone posted a video online that appears to have been taken shortly after the raid.
The video taken at the Mount Sumi shows 3 special police forces going through the bodies of individuals on the ground. And apparently one of them says, "I found more here." And there is no assurance in the video whether those people that were found were already dead or still alive. And then one of the commanding officers says, "Burn them." So that video was shot by the police. What happened that day was in the attempt by the police forces to detain the leader of the sect during prayers resulted in a skirmish in which the members of the sect killed the police commander and a number of officers who were with him. In revenge, the police came with all they had, and they started firing at the camp indiscriminately. There is plenty of evidence that a massacre occurred. Now, the exact numbers we will never know. I spoke to several police officers who were part of the operation, and they bore witness of the mass graves, the mass burials being done by excavators. So you don't use excavators for mass graves if it's just to bury a few people.
Members of the opposition say hundreds of people might have been killed, but the head of the regional police force denies there was a massacre. He does say police killed 13 of the sect's guards who opened fire on them, but he challenges anyone who says otherwise to come up with evidence. And now for some other reports and images sent in by our observers. To Burkina Faso, the town of Djibo in the north. At the end of April, a makeshift gold mine collapsed near the town, trapping the miners inside. The local residents dug desperately for more than a week to try to get them out, even though they knew there was little chance of finding anyone alive. Our observer told us simply that the miners were their brothers, and you don't abandon your brother. This video shows 2 men, employees of a KFC fried chicken restaurant in South Africa, rinsing chickens on the ground. When it was posted online, it created a storm of outrage. a real threat to the company, which is the biggest fast food chain in South Africa with more than 700 outlets. They reacted quickly, taking out newspaper ads. The company acknowledged the two men were employees, but said they were actually throwing the chickens away. They were rinsing them off because they had already put breading on them and didn't want their manager to know they were wasting supplies. In France, it's illegal to wear, quote, ostentatious religious symbols in public schools. That means Muslim headscarves, Jewish skullcaps, or large Christian crosses. But how about a skirt that is too long? A 15-year-old Muslim girl was twice banned from school this April for just that reason, prompting this tongue-in-cheek response from our observer, Huria.
Où tu vas comme ça? Comme ça? Au collège? Mais t'es malade toi ou quoi? Gueulez, Boba, gueulez. Tu vas finir expulsé de l'école et moi je vais finir à Guantanamo. Salsana, Haki, Khafif. Voilà, Binti. Va au collège, Hakan. Demain, je vais te faire le piercing et après le demain, je te fais le tatouage. Khafif, allez, direct l'école.
Huria calls the banning of the skirt Islamophobia pure and simple, but she says it's better to laugh about it than cry. That's it for this week. As always, you can find more reports from our observers on our website, on our Facebook and Twitter pages, and on our apps for mobiles. I'll see you next time.